Hey guys, this is Lola Wrist with LolaWrist.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I had done this card earlier today and then Operation Error, I accidentally deleted it and I wanted to make sure it was out there. So here it's pulling it up online. So if you'll give me a minute, I will online. So if you'll give me a minute. And for some reason, it always bumps that up. So I'm just going to go through the card pretty quick tonight. And earlier today, it didn't allow me to see any comments or anything like that. So I'm just going to go on ahead and go through it. And then if you are there and you leave a comment, I will come back and answer it. Hopefully this time I won't delete it. You know, I am not perfect. This is the way it is. I have always said all along, I'm real. And if I make a mistake, sometimes I craft on the fly. Sometimes I make a mistake. And when that happens, we move on. Because that's just part of life. And I show you how to maybe fix it. Or I come back and say, okay, I had to do this to it. So we're going to do this fun card. And this is a Vertical Accordion Fun Fold. It's one that goes like this. And I'm not sure that it's up high enough, so I'm going to just show you sideways so you get an idea of how it lays out, okay? There it is. And it's based on a card that Pam did on our private group page last week. This is one that she saw. Rhonda Wade had, I believe Rhonda had received this one, and she was showing it. And so Pam liked it so much, she wanted to show it to our group. And so that's the one that I took. But I'm the kind of person, I like really narrow margins and things. So I've adjusted my measurements a little bit differently. Also, if you go on to LolaWrist.com, today I posted the PDF of measurements that I'm using. So feel free to go on there and print yourself off a copy of the measurement. Okay, so we're going to start first with this, and I'm going to set this one off to the side because I'm going to need it. We're going to start with a piece of Night of Navy, and this one is 4 1/4 across by 11 inches long. I'm going to score it 4 times, and I'm going to score at 2 3/4 inches. I told him this morning I'm a character. I'm a character of habit. I like this cutter. It's an old one, and I have used it. I have my new one, and I do bring it out, but I like this one for scoring. I prefer it. In fact, I would not want to throw my scoring little piece away because I've got it scored to just where I want it to be. So, all right, so we had 2 3/4. 2 3/4, and then we went 4 1/4. Okay, then we went 7 1/4, and then we went 8 1/2. I rarely use this at all for cutting. I prefer a guillotine cutter like the old school ones were. But I did use it today for cutting, and man, could see me cutting through this and just really messing it up. All right, so I'm gonna start first, and I have to kind of get an idea because one of these is 2 3/4, and the other end is 2 1/2. And I need it to be a specific one. So this one, I believe, is the 2 1/4, and that is the end that goes on the bottom, okay? So I'm gonna fold it this way. And then I'm going to fold it back. And then I'm going to fold it down. And then I'm going to go back. Okay. And I noticed I had some little bit of edging there. I want to trim that off a little bit. See if I can get that little fuzz on the end gone. All right. Okay. So let me double check this again. There's the bottom. All right. So let's go on ahead and take the bottom And we're going to take a piece of Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue and Night of Navy is the color combination that I'm going with. And my Balmy Blue is 4 1/8 by 2 5/8. 4 1/8 by 2 5/8. Okay. And then we have a piece of white, and the white is 2 1/2 by 4. Again, don't worry about printing off or writing down the measurements. Just go to lolarist.com and you can print your PDF right there with the measurements. And while you're there, sign up for my newsletter. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube. I'd appreciate that. All right, now we have another piece of Balmy Blue, and this one is 4 1/8 square. And I have a piece of DSP that is a 4-inch square. This is from the Storybook Gnomes. And on the back side, it's all the gnome stuff. The gnomes, the mushrooms, the little toadstools, the whole kit and caboodle. But I really like the reverse sides because it has some beautiful blue snowflake images. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to score this down or tape it down on top of the Balmy Blue. Okay, and then I am going to put this on this section of my card right here. So if you're counting the scored sections, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna put this on the third or the largest section, and I only want that part of it taped down. I do not want tape down here. So I'm gonna not put my tape on my cardstock over here. I'm gonna put it on my Night of Navy just so that I can keep it from getting too low on the other one and showing. And because I really want it to be stuck down good, I'm putting quite a bit of adhesive. All right. It's a little hard to see now that it's darker in the daytime. All right, okay. And then this will still move. You don't want it fastened down and then it won't open up at all. Okay. All right, next thing I'm going to take is a piece of white, and I believe this one is, off the top of my head, I think it's 2 1/4 by 3 1/2 inch. And then I also have a piece of Balmy Blue that I use the scary silhouette dies. And I ran that through. But before we put that down, I want to put some snow on the bottom of this piece right here. So I'm just going to take a piece of paper and I'm just going to tear across. And that kind of gives you the rough edge of snow drifts. And I'm going to come down here on the bottom. And I'm going to put this down right on the bottom. In fact, I probably better go here a little higher. I can always take the adhesive off. But if I don't, I'm going to have a little flap there that's not down. Okay. All right. So we're going to go on ahead now and we're going to take our paper snips. And we're going to trim it out, just coming to the back side. And and trim that curve around. I could also have run it through my dies one more time. I just didn't bring my die machine out to where I'm sitting here right now. Just one more thing I didn't worry about carrying out here. So this morning I did it, made it through just fine. And then when I went to save it, I hit the wrong thing and I hit delete. And it's like, well, dang, that's a cute card. I wanted to make it. So I wanted to be sure to have it so that I could upload it to YouTube. So we're gonna do it again and try to get it done and hopefully not delete. All right, now I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna put this down. Like so. Okay. All right, and we're gonna set this off to the side for now, and we're just gonna come back here and work a little bit. So the stamp set that I am using is called Snowman Magic. Snowman Magic is a new one that is found in the catalog right now, the mini catalog, and it is 29 dies, guys. A lot of dies, or not dies, 29 stamps. And they're itty bitty stamps. These are the kind that I lose. Okay, so be very careful if you pick this up that you use this. And I have so many little ones here, but you have 2 snowman faces, you have a necklace, you have a bird, you have a bunny, you have 2 different hats, a bow tie, a scarf, you have trees, stars, you have snow drifts. And besides that, you have greetings and things. Lots of things, even sunglasses if you want. And then you have the coordinating dies. And this coordinating die has a really neat piece to it. I didn't use it here. It's this one here that would actually give you a frame for your snowman, but it was going to be too big to use on this Vertical Accordion Fun Fold. So I had to bypass on it, but I looked at it. I did. So I'm just going to take the stamps and I very quickly am going to stamp them for you to show you how easy they work. So the photopolymer stamps are the ones that allow you to see through. I can tell you they're clear, but we get that mixed up with the other kind of clear that isn't clear. It's a tricky thing, but the way they have their names of their stamps, it makes it kind of hard. So I have 3 buttons and I'm going to do 3 buttons. I love how they curve those, so it really gives you the effect of the roundness. I have a hat that I'm going to put out here. I'm just going to hold it down because I want that black to be as dark as I can get. And then I have a scarf and I'll do that in red. Let's do the hat again, see if I can get a darker image, because I probably will use this on another card. Yeah, that's a better hat, okay? And then let's do the face. And again, I have 2 faces because it has like you have one that's more feminine and one that's more masculine, and they look towards the center of the card. So where this one is looking this way, the other face goes that way, and it gives you the impression of a couple, a snow couple. So that's the black. Now we go to the red. And the red I use for the scarf. And then just take the dies that coordinate and cut it out. Very, very easy. All right, so I've already done that so that I didn't have to bring my die machine. So there it is. And we're gonna start off and let's put down the tree. There was a cool tree die. And I'm gonna use my Tombow glue. I'm just gonna come in here and use it. If you don't have an acrylic or a silicone mat, you need one of these. I really like this. It just makes it so much easier, and the glue just sticks to it as opposed to sticking to your paper. It may not seem like a big deal when you're making a card and just doing a few little things, but if you're doing a sampler, and we have a lot of samplers that we do in our classes, if you're doing a sampler, you got a lot of gluing to do. You're gonna have glue everywhere, everywhere, okay? I'm gonna let that sit for a second. I'm gonna take a pumpkin pie blend. I'm just gonna color in the nose. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna take the light red and I'm gonna color in the hat. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna come back. I'm kind of letting the tree dry a little. It had quite a bit of glue there. And if I let it dry a little bit, it will be a lot easier to not have glue oozing out the side. So let's take a second and let's look at these arms. So normally, you know, a year or two ago, Stampin' Up! Would have made the arm dies where they were just like this, just the stick and the fork, and there'd be nothing on the end. But this time they've added the circle, and the circle makes it so much easier. You can go on ahead and you could put a glue dot on your snowman. I didn't do that this morning, but let's do it now just to show you. So I'm gonna put a glue dot here, and I'm gonna put a glue dot here. I have my 2 glue dots, and now I've got more area, surface area that's gonna stick to the back. Otherwise, that little arm was gonna eventually come off. Okay. All right, so let's go on ahead and do this and put a couple more dimensionals. Probably just one is all I'm gonna need. And let's put him down into the snow. So he's sitting on the snow. And then let's put the tree in too. So by now this glue has dried just enough that it is going to not be quite so gooey. And I'm gonna just slide it in behind the snowdrift so it looks like it's coming out of the snowdrift. Well, I'm gonna try anyway. That's a little bit higher than I wanted it to be. Okay, all right. All right, let's go on ahead and take a moment and do the greeting. I needed a small greeting because I don't have much space on this card left, especially if you think that I have a hat to put on here. So I found, we used to have a couple of stamps that's called Itty Bitty Greetings and Teeny Tiny Wishes, which were just perfect for little areas, but they don't have those anymore. So I went searching and I found this one in Vintage Christmas. And I'm just gonna put that at the top in Night of Navy. We'll close that up for now. And let's go on ahead and put the top hat on. I've already got that colored in. We're gonna put it on with a dimensional. I think a full-size dimensional will fit. And if not, I'll start again. Let's take it off. It's a little too big. So just rub it off. I am not a mini glue dot fan. Lots of people like not mini glue dots, the mini dimensionals. I don't care for them. They're hard for me to use. And I had a group here today, and I noticed one of those were complaining about them too. They didn't like them. They said that they had problems getting the backing off of them. Some people really love them. Okay, so there's that. Let's go on ahead and put the scarf down, and I'm going to put that down with glue dots. All right. Put him around his little neck there. Isn't that cute? Cute little thing. And then we have a bird, and I could have used a stamp bird, but I kind of just like the dies. So I just went with the red bird here like this, and I'm going to put him up in the tree, and I'm going to give him a little black dot for an eye. Okay, now you have a problem with this one because if you get it too low, again, you don't want it to be so low that it gets down here, because if it does, it won't open, it'll be stuck. The other way, if you do that and you get it too low, you just cut another piece of white paper, the size of what you have down here, and you stick that there, and that'll cover up that excess glue. But we're gonna try our darndest not to. So I'm gonna come over here, and I have some glue dots, not glue dots, some snowflakes that I ran, and these are from the Chic dies. So I'm gonna go on ahead and run some adhesive on one of these, and I'm gonna put it in the top corner, and even though my adhesive is showing, it's gonna cover up because I'm gonna put my snowman piece right on top of that. Okay. All right, so now we have our little snowman piece. So I'm going to come back over here. I knew I was going to run out of tape, so give me a second. Okay. I'm going to put that up here where it still covers that adhesive, and I'm looking to see that the three sides are all even. And then I haven't got any adhesive here. Okay, and then I've got 3 little snowman pieces to put on here, and we are done with one more greeting to stamp. So I'm going to put this snowman on with the mini glue dot, and I'm going to overlap this one on top, this one behind, this one on top, and then I have 2 little pieces, and we're going to put mini dimensionals on those. We are almost done. So I'm going to put this one up here on this part, and over here on this one. Just going to bring it down a little. Okay, almost done. So we have one more thing to do. We have a stamp to put down here. We need a greeting. So we're going to go with the greeting this time that is actually in the stamp set, that it says, it's the most magical time of the year. Okay. And again, I'm going to use Night of Navy. There is our card. Okay, guys. So there's our card for tonight. I had it here earlier. I did okay. I deleted it. Let's pray that I don't delete it now. Here's the Halloween one that Pam showed us on Tuesday night on our private group page. If you want the measurements, go to LolaRist.com. LolaRist.com, I have printed a PDF, or I have typed up a PDF that is printable for you. And there is also a link if you'd like to join our group page that we have. We started it in the spring of COVID, and we have continued it on. We're not perfect. We're far from perfect. We're real, but we are happy that we're stamping with our friends and we enjoy it. And so, you know, tomorrow night is mystery card night. So we're going to have mystery stamping. This will be posted on that group page. If you join us, you'll see it there. It'll have the measurements for a card. We need you to put your card together and have it posted on our group page sometime before Sunday the 18th to be entered in for a drawing. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that card. Thanks for coming. And if you saw it again this morning, thanks for coming back and watching again. Take care. God bless.